Let's talk about Star Trek Into Darkness. It comes out this weekend. There's been a lot of talk about it. The J.J. Abrams reimagining of the story for the first film, it was by all means a success amongst fans, amongst critics. I want to know what everybody thought of the film. I know our producer, Lucy Blodgett, loved the movie. Drew's not here yet, but let me start with you, Daniel.
Yeah, I haven't seen the film yet. I haven't been able to see it yet.
You haven't seen the first one either?
I saw the first one.
Yeah, what do you think about the first one?
I think it's incredible. I think it's amazing. It's full of like a lot of the Star Trek films are about and the shows are about like diplomacy and stuff. But the first one was just straight up action. It dove straight into all the characters. You learned them really quickly and then went right into the plot. The first one was beautiful. I thought I loved it.
And Molly, what did you think?
Well, I haven't seen the film either.
Ah, busted.
But I will say, I will say a lot of the reviews have made me interested to see it because I've heard that it actually, one of the criticisms I saw was that it is a bit of like overkill with a lot of references to Star Trek nostalgia, which gets to be a bit much for like a hardcore Trekkie, but is almost better for people not familiar with the franchise because it does a lot of explaining and things like that. So that sounds good to me. I think I need a little bit more of explaining of the Star Trek franchise.
All right, Russ, break it down. Did you enjoy the first one? Not break dance.
Oh, break it down a different way. I did enjoy the first one. You know, it's interesting what she said because I think a lot of us who are, over, say, 30, a smidge, we grew up with Star Trek, the franchise. We grew up with the TV shows. Then we grew up with the movies that had the actors, Leonard Nimoy, et cetera. So this is something we've all grown up with. And the biggest fear is when you take a movie like this, and they rebooted this 4 years ago, I think, that you lose sort of all reference to the original and what the movie was about and the characters. So I think that they did a good job reintroducing the story with the first movie. Like our friend said here, who's apparently prepared for Armageddon with all of the cereal.
Daniel, you have lots of cereal just in case anything happens.
A lot of sugar. Yes. I thought they did a great job of reintroducing the characters and just the story with the first movie. Made a ton of dough, and 4 years later, now we have number 2.
By the way, I'd just like to address a comment that's come in live right now from 113. Jacob, how did it feel to, take a look at my computer screen, how did it feel to direct Star Trek 2? That's not me. Just want to make everybody aware of that, but let's see if I can do a good
That's a good one. that is really very good. I never made that connection before.
One more time.
Really? Do we need any more, or is that enough? That's
all right, let's go. Guys, let's take a look at a clip from Star Trek Into Darkness. Stars Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana.
Our shuttle was concealed by the ash cloud, but the Enterprise is too large. If utilized in a rescue effort, it would be revealed to the indigenous species.
Spock, nobody knows the rules better than you, but there has got to be an exception.
None. Such action violates the Prime Directive.
Shut up, Spock. We're trying to save you, damn it.
Doctor, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Spock, we're talking about your life!
The rule cannot be broken, and it needs to...
Spock! Try to get him back online.
90 seconds to detonations.
Spock were here and I were there. What would he do?
He'd let you die.
It lets you die.
It lets you die.
Very dramatic. What were you anticipating before you saw it? Because we'll get to your review in a minute.
I was anticipating another Star Trek movie. I know, right? You know what? I just wanted it to be better, right? Because they did such a good job with the first movie. You always want the next one to be a little better, next one to be a little better. It doesn't often happen like that, but you can always hope for it. But this is a franchise that people love. People really do have a big affinity for the characters and a new love for Chris Pine and for Zachary Quinto and just the whole cast. So this thing's got a huge vibe going into it. People are loving it.
Zachary Quinto. He's been all over the place. I saw him on Bill Maher over the weekend. He's been out there. He's outspoken. Guys, let's check out Russ's 6-second review, courtesy of Movie Phone.
Mr. Movie Phone 6-second review starts now.
Kirk is Kirkier, Spock is Spockier, but the plot's weak. There's really nothing new, so I'm in, but just by a Klingon.
I'm killing myself.
That was nice.
I'm in.
That was nice.
Just by a Klingon. Here's the thing. It is Kirkier. It's Spockier. They're going more into their stories. They're actually, I think, taking on more of the mannerisms from the original characters, especially Zachary Quinto. His Spock is becoming dead on. I don't know if that's what they're trying to do, but he is.
Is this more like the older ones? Sorry to interrupt you, but is it more like the older ones with Kirk and Spock? You get more of the interaction between the two?
You do. I think they're trying to do more with the characters. With that said, the plot felt like a total throwaway. It felt like it was just, and there was really not very much plot. We could write it down on a little napkin here. It just felt like they were trying to get us to the next series of movies, because they do set you up for a whole nother series of Star Trek movies.
Wired said that it was just another disposable summer film. The LA Times says Star Trek Into Darkness really goes boldly where no man has gone before. Wah, wah. Did you have any big issues with the film?
Sounds like a 6-second review. My biggest issue with the film was I'm just done with the 3D. I really am. Like there's a lot of action in the movie, and I saw it in 3D. And so if you go see it, which I think that you should because it's pretty good, see it at IMAX. But try to stay away from the 3D because it just makes everything messier and makes the effects kind of less distinguishable. It just looks like a hodgepodge of crap, frankly.
Molly, do you feel the same way, hodgepodge of crap, when you see 3D?
It's my new band name, by the way.
Actually, I tend to avoid 3D because it makes me nauseous. I don't know. I know it's supposed to be like the future of cinema, but I agree. I usually avoid 3D.
And Daniel?
I haven't seen a 3D film other than Avatar because the plot's like razor thin and it looks beautiful in 3D. That was really worthy of 3D other than gimmick films like Piranha 3D. Like I don't think it adds anything. It's straight up a gimmick.
You guys tell on this? I mean, of all the films that are out right of all the films that are out this weekend, how high is this movie on your priority list?
For me, it's number one. I mean, I saw Gatsby. What else is out this weekend to see besides Star Trek Into Darkness?
Well, you maybe haven't caught up.
But we didn't know you're not exactly a Gatsby candidate. I'm just saying we don't look at you and the cereal boxes and think Gatsby.
I want to know. Tell me about box office bingo. Let's do a little box office bingo.
Box office bingo. Well, first of all, he's right. Nothing is opening against Star Trek.
Yeah.
It's the one big wide release this weekend. Iron Man, Gatsby did big business. Box office bingo. I think we should try to predict the box office. I think we should take our friends here, try to guess how much this movie is going to open to. Let me give everybody sort of a little something to go on, and you guys probably already know this, but Iron Man opened to 120 some odd million dollars, almost 130, I think.
Something like that.
It was something like that. We're just talking numbers, no big deal. But opened huge. Star Trek actually has an extra day. They opened it today.
And midnight.
So you can go, so you get a little extra time. But what do you guys think? What do you think Star Trek is going to open to this weekend?
Let's go to Molly first. Molly, break it down. Box office bingo.
Oh, man. I would say, I think, same with Iron Man, there's a huge cult following with Star Trek. Well, even more so. So I would say, my guess would be around the 120 million, I would say, possibly even more.
I think that's a pretty educated guess. Daniel?
It's the third Iron Man. I don't think a lot of people are on board as much with Star Trek as they were with Iron Man. I'll lowball it and say 100 million.
Well, that's what David Margolin in the HuffPost Live community says. David Margolin, over 100 million. Let's take a look at that comment right there. Boom. I will say 132 million.
132?
Yes.
It's a good guess. Are we going Price is Right rules?
Yes. If I go over, I'm out.
Okay,
if you guys
because I think you're right. I think it's going to come in short of $1 million. And by the way...
Over $1 million?
No, sorry, of 100 million?
Worst box office performance of all time.
No, because I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm predicting $1. I'm going with...
That's screwed up, because if we're all over, then you win.
I win, and everybody has to wear their jammies next week, whether they're on the air with us or not.